It was a disappointing ending to what was a great football season for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, falling 34-23 in the national title game to the Ohio State Buckeyes. A disappointing end to the season and also a potential ending to an era. Let's talk about some news that could be coming very soon. Ryan Roberts from A to Z Sports breaking down everything Notre Dame football, and unfortunately have to recap the national title defeat to the hands of the Ohio State Buckeyes. Was a tremendous year for Notre Dame, going 14-1 leading into this contest and rattling off 13 straight victories and winning 3 straight games against top 10 opponents in the playoffs to make the championship game. But obviously you were only defined by your last game of the season, and things did not end well for Notre Dame. And from the first step of this game, it looked very promising for the Fighting Irish. Went 18 plays, touchdown drive to start from the offensive side of the football. But then quickly you saw that it just was not the defense's night. Al Golden's units, which has been a tremendous group all year and among the country leader in a lot of defensive categories, specifically pass defense and forcing turnovers, this was just not their night. I thought the game plan was a little bit missing in some aspects. We'll talk about some coverage stuff throughout the next couple days of a recap. I thought that obviously Notre Dame really struggled to tackle in space. Like, it was just not their nights. I mean, you could talk about the 211 yards rushing they surrendered, 2 touchdowns on the ground. Quinshad Judkins, former Ole Miss transfer, ran 11 times for 100 yards. You talk about the passing game, which was not much better defensively for Notre Dame. You surrendered in the first half. Quarterback Will Howard for Ohio State completed 14 of 15 passes. He ended the day 17 of 21 for 231 yards and 2 touchdowns. And of course, the biggest play of the game was that 57-yard dagger to Jeremiah Smith in the last couple minutes of the game, which really iced this football game and didn't give Notre Dame a chance because Notre Dame was mounting a bit of a comeback. They got the ball one more time at the end of the game. Who knows what would have happened? But ultimately, that big play from Howard to Smith iced this football game. And when we kind of take a step back, the recency of the performance from the Notre Dame defense is going to, unfortunately, sour everything that Al Golden was able to accomplish as defensive coordinator for Notre Dame the last 3 seasons, specifically the last 2, specifically in the year 2024. It was a tremendous job as the DC. Like I said, from where you were taking over a defense that was talented but struggled to force turnovers, struggled with pass game consistency, you turned this unit into one of the best in college football, and Coach Golden did a tremendous job after being an unconventional hire at first. But we know before this game even happened, there were a lot of reports surfacing about Cincinnati Bengals and their interest in Al Golden as a new defense coordinator. And now it's no surprise, folks, and it's not a coincidence that right after the game, there was another report that comes out about Al Golden being a front runner. It's expected, unless something changes at the end for X, Y, and Z reason, that Al Golden will be the defensive coordinator for Cincinnati Bengals going into the 2025 season, and we should expect some news on that very, very soon. And it's just very unfortunate, just from a Notre Dame fandom perspective, that what was a great tenure, a great 3-year stretch from a defense coordinator has to end this way. He is going to be remembered for his last and unfortunate game as the Notre Dame defense coordinator, even though he was tremendous throughout his tenure. So, quick shout out to Coach Golden. End of an era potentially here. It's a shame that it ended this way, but you did a tremendous job for Notre Dame football. It's just very unfortunate that the worst game of the 2024 season defensively came in the biggest moment. Folks, so we'll keep recapping this thing. We'll get you ready for the offseason and everything in between. There's going to be some transfer portal stuff. There's going to be more conversation, roster building, recruiting, all that in between. Make sure you stay locked into A to Z Sports. And as always, go Irish.